Doom Nation, what's up, guys? We are back again. We are joined by our good friend Shane. You guys should know her by now. And we are reviewing the final 3 episodes of the awesome What If series from Marvel.
Yes, sir. So we were doing 2 in a row, but we had a little bit busy of a week that past week. I also wasn't around, so we just didn't, round it out with the last 3.
Might as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good 3 to round it out.
And Party Thor wasn't really worth talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was
literally
thinking too.
said before we started. I was like, Chris definitely hated the Thor episode.
You know what the problem? I was actually Party Thor when I watched it, so I don't remember all of it.
That's right.
Yeah, the one thing I did like about it was like that was in the What If universe. Like that was Marvel's comedy special. You know what I mean? That was like the lighthearted, funny one. It did get me to create a few theories, and I wasn't far off from it. But there was nothing. I mean, it was just a good party episode of Thor partying in Vegas with ice giant Loki.
Like I was thinking, out of all of the characters to have like a fun episode, it would be Thor.
Yeah,
most of his movies are the more comical.
Yeah,
out of like them and Guardians are like the more like comedic relief of the movies.
The space dramas are the funny ones.
Yeah,
for whatever reason. I thought it was dumb because the name of the episode is "What If Thor Was an Only Child?" Right? And Loki shows up and they're calling each other bro.
Yeah.
So like they're still basically brothers,
but they're like bros.
Yeah,
they're not like.
But
brothers.
Still, like I thought maybe Loki just didn't exist in this one when I read the title.
Well, no, I still expected him to exist because they're in the same.
If I'm not mistaken, the whole path that changed that universe was Odin gave back the baby to what? They're not ice giants. What's the name?
From Jotunheim, right?
Yeah. He returned. Okay, he returned the baby, and instead of raising it as his own, and I guess that maybe caused peace or whatever. And Thor was raised as an only child.
Yeah. I didn't really like it, honestly. It was funny. Some parts were funny. The funniest line I remember was when everybody from Asgard and whatnot was coming to the Earth. I think it was who was it? It was one of the Shield guys. Like, it's a party atmosphere, like as if they were the aliens were changing the atmosphere. But it was really like it's a party atmosphere joke. I thought that was pretty funny. That's about it. I didn't really like the episode.
It was the lowest rated episode on IMDb.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
It just
was it Chris Hemsworth?
Entertaining. It didn't go that great with the storyline, but it was entertaining.
Well, here I'll get into the theory I had created before I saw the last episode. Because I liked what happened from then on. It kind of was the setup for the next 2 episodes, if you will. But at the end of that episode, there was kind of like the zombies Thanos moment where Infinity Ultron, Vision Ultron. What's his official name? The Infinity
Ultron.
It's just Ultron.
Oh, okay. So Ultron shows up with the Infinity Stones, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I saw him in the following episode, and I was like, wouldn't it be something if like they on purpose made this stupid Thor episode, and Thor is going to be the one later on to defeat, Ultron?
You kind of called it.
Yeah, it wasn't
in a way. In a way, yeah. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to say about this episode? Because I kind of want to get this one over with and get to the 2 good ones.
Did you guys catch any Easter eggs? Because I didn't pay. I'd like to rewatch it, maybe.
Not too many. I only watched it that one time when it first came out. Like it wasn't worth a rewatch. Yes, it was fun. It was entertaining. I enjoyed that they got Darcy and
yes.
I can't remember her name. Natalie Portman back.
Oh yeah. Jane.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Darcy's one of my favorite people. So I was happy to have her.
She did great in WandaVision, man.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. All right, let's give it ratings and let's move on. What do you think, Cap?
I'm gonna right in the middle of 5. It was comedy. I enjoy Thor. It was fun and it was comical, but there was nothing special compared to everything we've seen.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't like the T'Challa Star-Lord one. So, since everything we've seen, like there was nothing to it. There's nothing magical to this universe.
I'll give it a 6.5. It was okay. Like I said, it was entertaining. but it didn't really add to the plot in any way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 4. It was meh. I laughed like twice.
Yeah.
2 points per laugh. So it's a 4. All right, let's move on.
Frat boy Thor.
Yeah. Sorry. So all right. The next episode is called
What If Ultron Won?
Yeah. Now this episode obviously kind of was the buildup of what the show was really about.
Mhm.
The final 2 episodes here, which I'll hand it to us, or maybe me, I forgot who, but I had kind of said that I feel like or I think we all kind of said it, that the whole show has an overarching story that it's working towards at some point.
Like it came off as each individual episode, and then towards these last 2 episodes, you realize it's all actually connected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense, because that's what the entire MCU is at this point. Everything's
always a crossover. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we called it spot on, but we were right in saying the Watcher was going to get more involved in every episode. And the last 2 episodes, he was very involved. I didn't see all the universes coming together, but I did suspect Thor taking on the victorious Ultron, and basically he did. But that was a very good episode. And oh man, for somebody who knows, well, I'm no expert, but for someone who's known the history of comic books and of Marvel and stuff, the Watcher is like one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe. Deadpool killed him one time in the Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe comic books and stuff. But this version of Vision in the Ultron armor with the Infinity Stones might actually be the most powerful being ever created in the Marvel universe.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because he kind of just, phased through the walls, the 4th wall of every multiverse.
It was the fact that he literally was sitting there being like, all right, I did everything. And then just hears the Watcher and is like, where is that coming from?
Yeah.
And somehow finds him.
That's how powerful he became.
Had all the stones. That's also what helped him.
Yeah.
So on top of the Mind Stone literally being a part of him, he was also like, I can see, I can see sound and hear color. Like
something that really interested me about that part when Ultron was finally victorious was like, he just realized that I completed my mission. There's nothing left to do. I mean, minus finding out that the Watcher and there's other universes, it almost could have been like a regret scene. Like, my program is to destroy the entire human race to make peace, with not realizing okay, what do I do once my objective is over?
Yeah. I thought it was cool because it was almost like you thought the episode was basically going to be over, kind of. And then he hears the Watcher. And it's like, more for me to do. And then you're like, oh shit, he's going to go and, destroy everything. Universe. That's going to have repercussions and everything else going on.
Who voiced him? Because it wasn't the guy who played Robert California.
It's the same guy who does Red Skull.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
Hugo Weaving?
I'll find out for sure.
Because any of the Office fans
Ross
out
Marquand? There. That's interesting.
Ross
Marquand. That's the guy from The Walking Dead, actually.
Yeah. So
the guy with
but when you
hand,
look him up, he does Red Skull in
he's pretty good. Pretty good. I did think that his Ultron, I love that he almost has a steely, cold, robotic tone to his voice. It has no emotion in it.
They're combining Ultron with Vision's voice.
Yeah. That's what was. I mean, Ultron was the original one in the movie was voiced by the guy who plays Robert California in The Office, and his voice was phenomenal for that character. I really felt that it was good. I would have liked to have seen him come back, but yeah, it was a good combination.
One scene I liked from that was when Thanos appeared behind him and he just turns around and lasers him in 2 instantly. I was like, wow, I was not expecting that.
The memes that are created from that have been Wanda is like, bro, what the F? You could have just done that the entire time.
Yeah.
I think my theory for that is, so every universe is different. That Thanos in this universe was just a genuinely weaker Thanos. You know what I mean?
It could be also that just because it's Ultron and Vision together. I have a feeling of all the main, or at least of the first three of the, the Avengers movies, Ultron would have been the most powerful villain had he merged with Vision. And like, this is you're saying this is what would have happened, which he would have defeated Thanos, taken the stones, and done what he did. Which is that it never got to that.
Yeah, which is a great point to bring up, because this entire time, every episode, we have argued about how I like when they readapt a movie and you like the original ideas. And here is an original character that they adapted from the movie. You know what I mean? Watching Age of Ultron back then, I actually would really like to rewatch that movie now because of this. Because watching that movie back then, I never imagined what it would, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of knew, the movie's Avengers, Age of Ultron, another movie's coming out.
They were going to win, yeah.
So I never really thought to myself, like, boy, what would an Ultron Vision hybrid be like? And to see that come out was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to how Vision and Ultron became one.
Well,
like,
Vision,
they don't explain that. Like, I know Vision was made to stop Ultron. What caused them to merge? Because Vision is made out of Jarvis.
But in the Ultron movie, as far as I recall, Ultron was trying to merge with Vision. He wanted that, organic body to be a part of it. And like throughout the movie, he was trying to get in, and I don't remember exactly, but they were actively trying to stop him from getting into being in Vision. And that's how Vision was like finished being created.
Yeah, remember that machine only got up to 98%, and then Thor hit it with the hammer, and that's what gave Vision the rest of the life. If Thor never did that and it got to 100%, Ultron could have infected Vision,
Right. Yeah, so that could have been what happened.
That's why I kind of want to see that movie again.
Yeah, it's a good rewatch, definitely.
I got like some questions now that need some answering.
The other part, out of everybody to survive, it was only Clint and Natasha.
Yeah, that's interesting too, right? I mean,
what was this for?
Yeah, in this one,
Clint
and Natasha, the only ones.
Clint and Natasha were the only ones.
Weird, because I know they're assassins, but they're just humans, and they're fighting, and
they don't have any
powers. They're fighting off so many Ultron robots. I did think their mission was pretty interesting and cool, and unique. But go ahead,
But they're the lower tech. Remember, he creates. They're like, we got to go analog, and they create the virus out of MODOK.
Yeah,
because it wasn't digital; it was analog. Their powers, they don't have a power source.
They're kind of analog. They're just skin and bones.
Yeah,
right?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
everybody else was too advanced and got targeted easily by Ultron.
And it's funny too, because we'll talk about it for the next episode of What If. But like, Clint saved the day, man. He got the shift throughout all the movies, and now here his bow and arrow man saves the day.
Yep. One last thing before we rate this episode, I thought was awesome was the fight between the Watcher and Ultron.
Yes,
had a very Dragon Ball Z feel to it. Did you catch that?
That was
like in that, like even the way they were fighting felt like I don't even know, like Piccolo and Goku or something.
Yeah, that was.
I never watched it.
And then when the Watcher had his own armor. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was dope. That was done very well. That was probably one of the best fight scenes I've seen across What If.
Yeah, and we kind of saw that the Watcher is like, kind of sneaky powerful himself.
He is, if you were to Google right now the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe, he's top 3.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, what do we want to? Unless you have anything else to add, what do you want to rate this episode?
I'm gonna give it a 9. I enjoyed it. Okay. I think I do need to watch Avengers Age of Ultron again, even though I only watched it a few months ago.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.5. Almost perfect. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of really cool stuff. I thought Ultron was an interesting character to pick to be kind of the arch villain of this show. Definitely unique and interesting. So 9.5, liked it a lot.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9 as well. This was just entertaining. It was a great way to set up the season finale for this. It was a great way to show that there was this story arc that we didn't. I mean, we kind of called it, we kind of suspected it, but we didn't. None of us saw it coming this way. We like Skaggs. You had the saying like, oh, maybe there is going to be some type of story arc. We didn't know that like Ultron was going to get the Infinity Stones and cause all this.
I did say, however, I'm going to point out that I did say I feel like they're going to set up a team of Avengers through the show, and that's how each character, why they're showing us like each unique character, and they did. Right. Yeah. The what did the Watcher call them? The Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yeah.
Right. So they assembled a new team of Avengers built out of the episodes of the show. Yep. So I was right. Yes. So the last episode was called
What If the Watcher Broke His Oath?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, before we even get into it, the final scene of What If Ultron 1 was the dark sorcerer, dark Doctor Strange in like this, limbo. And he's like, okay, well, now you're back on the board. I need your help. He's like, yeah, I want to hear you break your oath. It was pretty boss of him.
Yeah, it was. So, yeah, it was interesting that they kept him around, right? You had a feeling that he was important, if not to even What If, but maybe to the Doctor Strange.
His universe was the one that ended. And with we'll get into it. We'll get it. Go ahead.
Go, man. Go for it.
Well, because we're going to be going into the next episode. What if the Watcher broke his oath? I think I'm predicting, theorizing that I think we could all agree in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, we are going to get some of the, what if stuff. Yeah. I think we could all agree that we're kind of expecting that now. I think Dark Doctor Strange, and I don't know if that's what he's officially being called. I'm just calling him that. I think that's going to be a solid, actual, and antagonistic character in that movie.
I agree.
100%. I think that one particular character, I really wish I could have rewatched everything right before we did this. He said something towards the end where he's like, I got nothing but time watching that pocket dimension and stuff. And he said something else, and I can't exactly remember it, where it just gave me this vibe of like,
he'll be back.
Oh yeah, I think we're going to see him in a movie.
We might also find out in Spider-Man.
I don't know about that.
We might find something because he's obviously a big part of Spider-Man.
But I just don't think. I think they're going to save
extent as the Doctor Strange movie itself. But we might. A lot of people are theorizing that this is not like our Doctor Strange.
Yeah, no, I get that. But in terms of Dark Doctor Strange, I don't think they're going to throw that curveball into Spider-Man's movie and like overshadow Spider-Man. But Doctor Strange's movie, definitely, I could see Dark Strange come up in there.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's almost like the villain for the, you know what I mean? Like, here's a Doctor Strange that's in limbo of the multiverses. Even though like he helped the Watcher, doesn't necessarily mean he still didn't take in all those evil demons and stuff.
Right.
And he sees his opportunity. Maybe Doctor Strange and Spider-Man is our Doctor Strange, and he messes up, and this is the opportunity for Dark Strange to
jump in.
Yeah, to jump in or something. We'll see.
So he was a really good part of this episode. He was he's very powerful when you think about it, right? He spent how long? Like centuries, absorbing creatures and whatnot. So it made sense that the Watcher picked him because he is probably in this, like in this episode, in this branch of the multiverse, he's probably number 2 strongest person after Ultron at this point. And, the fact that he was key to the team fighting back, right? Like I feel like the only reason why they were even able to fight against Ultron is because they had the number 2 guy plus a team with the number 2 guy against the number 1 guy.
If they didn't have Doctor Strange in that episode, they would not have won.
Right.
Off the bat though, for that episode, I enjoyed just about the entire episode. Just the Watcher turning into like a Nick Fury and being like, you have been chosen. The one thing I got we didn't get an episode of Iron Man and Gamora defeating Thanos, right?
Yes, that was kind of weird.
That one threw me off because I was like,
what's going on
just
here?
Coming out of nowhere.
I was like, did I miss something, or is this what this episode's going to be about? I kind of would have liked to. I would have rather have seen that episode than the Star-Lord episode, or Thor.
Thor, that's I agree. Why did they kind of just horseshoot her in there with no explanation or nothing?
She's labeled the Thanos killer.
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't make
Infinity
sense.
Crusher. Like,
yeah, and on top of all that, every time you saw Tony Stark throughout this entire series, they killed him. He's the big number one, number two hero in this universe, and you're not chosen. Get out of here, pal.
Yeah, I agree. That was kind of dumb how they just horseshoed.
Because if they brought him in, he would have died.
Yeah.
We did see also, which is pretty cool, the follow up to the T'Challa episode where Ego came to like absorb Peter Quill. So
we also saw the continuation of the Tony Stark and Killmonger episode.
Yes, they all through like a revolution.
Basically, everybody's just getting pulled from their universe in the middle of something else.
But they kind of continued their original episode throughout the season, which I thought was cool. So we kind of got a little closure to all those episodes, some of them.
So it's like T'Challa went to go save Peter Quill,
right?
Pepper and Shuri were ready to battle it out with Eric. Thor was still partying. Thor was defending Vegas.
Yeah.
Captain Carter basically is
an Avenger.
Yeah, she was. That was like the first couple of minutes of Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yes. Yeah. So that was, from the first episode at the end, Fury finds her, and she just literally step by step continues
Captain America's trilogy
story up until the Winter Soldier movie. Yeah.
Did you guys watch the credits?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes, of course. This is a Marvel.
Which I have.
Listen,
which I have some weird things,
and they didn't realize it. So I just wanted to make sure.
What are you gonna say, Cap?
So we know Disney can get woke. We know Disney is woke. I got this was such a weird little story arc in itself that Captain Carter kind of had this relationship or love towards her Natasha Romanoff, and then like they were shooting.
I didn't get that vibe that they were gay.
I did.
I didn't get that.
So
vibe,
that's what I was kind of alluding to, because maybe they were, maybe this is just me being an idiot. But then like in the next, then when she met Zombie, well, it wasn't Zombie, it was the Natasha Romanoff from that Ultron universe. She kind of had a soft spot for her. And then when she got sent back in that end credit scene, super happy to go see Natasha again. Oh my God, I missed you. And it gave me this, like, she might be gay type of vibe. And then they're like, oh, Steve's in the other room. And like, all right, goodbye, bitch. Like, just forgot about it.
I mean, I didn't get that vibe at all.
Okay.
I
might be the only person.
As the same relationship that Steve and Natasha had. Like they
were friends,
the closest ones to each other outside of like Clint and Natasha. Because when, fast forwarding a bit, when you're getting to the end, she kind of had that same moment that Cap had at the end of Endgame of, do I stay or do I go back? Like she was kind of begging the watcher to send her back to be with Steve.
Right.
Yeah.
I never got the like lesbian vibes.
Yeah, I got what they said.
I could be way off. I
got what they said, which was we're BFFs. That they're friends that are girls, and friends that are girls are
using
more
her I'm from the past being like, the term BFF.
Friends that are girls are more lovey-dovey than friends that are guys.
Yeah.
And or like when you have a guy and a girl who are friends, like me and you.
Yeah.
We're not like lovey-dovey. We're just like friends. Like Steve and Natasha, they're like friends. But they're not like, oh, we're BFFs. It's a fucking dude and a girl. So I didn't get that vibe.
It's all good. It was just something that I
kind of understand why you would get that, but like, I don't think they were trying for that.
Oh, I don't know. I was just something that I caught on to, but I did enjoy that end credit scene.
Yeah, that was.
So
good.
where do we want to?
Oh, I also
start
want to
going
point
with
out
this?
In the scene where Captain Carter is trying to convince the other Natasha, she's like, "Oh, your dad Alexei and your mom this," and I'm like, "This is the first mention of like who her father is, who is Alexei from the Black Widow movie."
Alexei was the Red Guardian,
mm-hmm.
Right.
I just
and she had his shield in that universe.
That's true.
Yeah. The fight scene was fantastic. What a great one of my visually and just thinking about how it would work when Thor threw his hammer and Strange blew it up into a million other hammers and they all started, and then Thor lit them all up. I would really like to see that play out in like a live action movie, because that looked dope as hell.
I think the one thing I don't understand is why did they take Killmonger?
Killmonger
Yes,
was I figured that out. Killmonger was, out of all like the what ifs episodes we watched, Doctor Strange kind of became dark, but obviously he was needed elsewhere. Everyone else was on a hero's path, even though it was a different universe. Killmonger was evil and had an
No
evil
matter what.
intention from the start. I think
I wouldn't say he's evil. I'd say he's misguided.
whatever, but
Yeah.
he's clearly the villain. He's not the Captain America
Sure.
hero that the rest of the group is. And there's a line that I think Doctor Strange realized it. We're not here to win. We're here to separate the stones from the body. And the Watcher, it's revealed with Strange and the Watcher talking that you knew this was going to happen from the start. You knew you were going to have to break your oath. You knew that we were going to accomplish this. He knew that Killmonger was the necessary evil, that he's powerful enough to help him fight this version of Ultron, but he's also evil enough to try and take the power. And you know what I mean? So when he took that power and they got into that power grab, that's how they made the pocket.
I get it. He was banking on Killmonger wanting to steal the stones, and the stealing of the stones would be the act of removing the stones and make them vulnerable enough to basically defeat him. Makes sense. Makes sense. Although real quick, it was interesting because once Killmonger did have the stones and he became like all powerful or whatever, he didn't have the vindictive action or reaction I thought he was going to have. His mindset was, I'm all powerful now. I could simply, like Thanos, fix everything with a snap, where it's good for everybody, as opposed to his earlier version. And then him in the movies was like, I'm going to use weapons to kill everybody who wronged me. This was more like, I could just snap a finger and make everything better for everybody, which I kind of didn't understand why they were like, okay, at this point, you've fucked everything. Like the multiverse has been broken. The Infinity Stones are out and about. Like, who cares at this point? You might as well just snap your fingers and make everything, unicorn and rainbow land.
He had that line though. He goes where he said to Strange, especially you should know we can fix this. But remember, Dark Doctor Strange spent centuries trying to become as powerful as he is to defeat that one moment where what was it called? Like an absolute moment or something?
Absolute point in time.
Yeah. This is an absolute point in time. Just because he can fix it now isn't going to fix all the absolute points in time.
That's true. That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So
there'll still be heartache.
Yes. In theory, with the knowledge that he has and the new power that he has, yes, I can fix all this. I could fix the zombie planet. I could fix the Ultron planet. But some of these were absolute points that can't be changed.
Right. He doesn't know an absolute point in time.
Yeah,
exactly.
Strange himself has experienced an absolute point in time. Christine is going to die no matter what. Tony is going to die no matter what.
Right.
That's why Strange wasn't on board with Killmonger's idea. Captain Carter was, because Captain Carter was going to get back what she felt she lost all that time. That's what that was, which is also awesome because in Endgame, Steve took his chance. When he went back in time to return the Soul Stone and all that, he changed his own timeline and came back an old man at Tony's. So they're literally the same character who wants the same thing on the same path. At the end of her universe's Endgame, she's going to go back in time and live her life out with Steve Rogers and come back as an old woman and give the shield,
Yeah, but I mean, let's skip ahead now to the after credit scene. The Hydra Stompers there apparently with Steve,
with somebody in it. They didn't specify that it was Steve. They just said somebody. We can obviously assume.
How did he live?
That would kind of be right. That's a good question, right? How did he just live that whole time in a machine? Is he maybe an old man now? Maybe he'll be old man Rogers, right? And just like in the movies, she was old, through I think it was Winter Soldier. Yeah. When he saw her like in the hospital or whatnot. So maybe a role reversal. So you're right. Maybe that is where it's going to go for them, Captain. Yeah. Because she's going to get kind of teased like, oh, look, Steve's back, but he's an old man.
Yeah.
I mean,
not going to fully get what she wants.
right.
So,
And that's, go ahead.
so you know how within like Endgame and everything, everybody always says Wanda would easily defeat Thanos on her own.
Yes.
Zombie Wanda could not defeat Ultron.
Yeah. But Ultron.
That was
Ultron,
zombie. Yeah.
It was
Also
Zombie Wanda,
Ultron,
but like she's still like super freaking powerful as
yeah.
a zombie.
What we learned from WandaVision is that Wanda's only gearing up to her true potential. In the comic books, she is widely powerful. I mean, the House
from
of
the
M.
get-go.
Yeah, from that. So I guess I'm sure in the comic book she has dozens of different story arcs, but if you take the comic book The House of M, where Wanda just goes, no more mutants, whispers it, and all the mutants in the world die. You know what I mean? Just by saying it. So in the overall Marvel universe, extremely powerful. But from what we're learning in the cinematic universe, she's only just learning what she can do.
Yeah, I agree.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed when we saw zombie Scarlet Witch. Where's the Hulk, man? Don't tell me he died. Don't tell me she beat him.
I did like though how they incorporated the zombies in there. I felt like the last episode
opened a portal and all the zombies just dropped down.
The last episode did a good job at reincorporating a little tiny piece of every episode. Even the zombies, right? We didn't think they were going to be in it, but wouldn't
it have been like cool if the Watcher was like, Peter Parker, you've been chosen, and it's the zombie Peter Parker with the cape.
I thought about that too.
But then he'd be just trying to eat the other members of the Avengers team.
Not zombie Peter Parker, but
like
Peter Spider-Man
from that universe
with Doctor Strange's cape. Yeah, a living Peter Parker.
That's the only episode besides the zombies themselves that he didn't go and select somebody from.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, that's why they dropped the zombies.
Really limited on.
But it would have made more sense.
We got this fake Gamora that we never saw, and we're leaving out good old Spidey.
It would have made more sense had they chosen Spider-Man than Gamora and saved Gamora's story for next season. Right?
Yeah.
They just needed to somehow get her in because she's involved with the Infinity Stones because of Thanos, but there was no lead up to her being there.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like they're like, oh. Well, she's dead, but here you go.
Yeah. Very odd decision on them for that. Do you guys want to rate it?
Yeah. Well, why don't you start, Skaggs? You go first. We did the other two.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5. Again, almost perfect, pretty close. It was very good. I enjoyed everything about it. It was entertaining. The cartoon artwork really did well in these last two episodes, I felt. When it was a little bit questionable towards the beginning.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It was a good story all around, and it felt, like something that I like, which is it was a rewarding payoff because it was an overarching story, which is what I like about shows. I hate when it's one-offs that have nothing to do with each other. So I was right. So 9.5. Yeah.
I'm going to give it an 8. An 8 because I can't give it a 9 or 10. For the sole purpose of Marvel has, from Iron Man, surprised us every step of the way with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It blew us away with WandaVision, and, it did a good job with Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm taking a point away because we kind of predicted, especially you being right, like if we're figuring it out, Marvel needs to step it up.
But how many people were like, no, that's not going to happen. I know plenty of people who are right about everything.
I get that, but this is our show. And so if we're kind of predicting it,
true.
Like I'm always mad at the Giants. Like if I could predict the next play, so can the other coach. Like you're not hiding nothing from anyone.
But I didn't see, did we see Ultron?
Well, that's why I'm giving it an 8 because the Ultron was so awesome. The crossover was awesome. The fighting was awesome. It's just that we kind of almost called some of it and predicted. Like I predicted that the Watcher was going to get more and more involved every episode. I would have liked to see him fight side by side with them as well.
Yes. Can I make one funny point? He kind of was like, I'm picking all you guys as the team. Good luck later. Yeah. He bounced. I ain't getting involved in this. I got my ass whooped in the episode before. You guys take care of this. I'll pop in at the end.
His mindset was like, I broke my oath enough.
Yeah. I liked the whole bar scene. the whole bar scene when they were talking this out and planning it, when they were like in the middle of the universe and they couldn't leave that pub and they were sitting around drinking, and he was like, yeah, I picked these people. Okay. It was very like Marvel comedy of it all.
Yeah, some little dry
I did
humor.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what do you
I
got?
did my part. I'll give it an 8.5.
Okay.
My mind blanks. Yeah, I'll give it an 8.5. I did enjoy it. Yeah, my thoughts are not coming to me.
That's
so
fine. It
I'll leave
happens
it
to
at
me
that.
every episode.
Your thoughts got lost in the multiverse.
Yeah, they're somewhere. They're just not here.
Question for you now. So I don't know how they're going to be able to do it without Chadwick Boseman, but do you think we're going to see something in Phase 4 where there's going live action Marvel Cinematic Universe? We'll throw like a few of them in there, like instead of like Chris Helmsworth, what's his brother's name? What's his little brother's name?
Luke Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Is real Hemsworth or like
yes, the real Hemsworth brothers.
So there's Luke Hemsworth who plays Thor in the plays in the movie, and then there's Liam Hemsworth.
Oh, Liam Hemsworth is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
So like, what if like Liam Hemsworth shows up as like Party Thor, and what if the chick who plays Agent Carter shows up in the Captain Carter uniform with the British shield? Do you think that would be something? Because I'm pretty convinced we're going to see this dark Doctor Strange.
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah, it's possible because of what happened with Loki, and now the multiverse is out of control. Will they be main fixtures of future stories? No. But could they be Easter eggs and small parts
Pop-ups
so
of
they're
stories?
going through the universes and you just see like flashes.
Could we see Steve Rogers again? Yeah. Could we see Eric Killmonger again? Yes. Anything's on the table with the multiverse. You could bring all those actors back for little cameos if you want.
Did Killmonger die in Black Panther? Did they kill him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but another, as we see in another universe, there's still a Killmonger. So the actors could come back to reprise their roles for cameos, or they could, bring them back they could use the multiverse to justify bringing, it's characters back from the dead.
Somebody back just because.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good, this multiverse is a good tool to like save them in the future too.
Yes.
Because let's say like Phase 4 starts rolling. Obviously, you know me, I'm excited for the Spider-Man movie. The Doctor Strange movie looks awesome. But what if like Eternals starts kind of like dipping off, and not all the movies are so successful, and they're like, all right, Robert Downey Jr., if we give you like $25 million, can we get 2 more movies out of you? And then everybody comes rushing back to the box office to go watch this.
From what we've seen, Tony Stark does not live.
It's an absolute point.
Happens.
Right. It's an absolute
right. He kept dying.
I doubt he's going to come in just to die
again.
He's gonna if it gets asses,
enough money,
if it gets asses in the seats and money in their pocket, they will get him back to just kill him all over again.
I'd say if they bring him back to just keep killing him, maybe they'll just cast Sean Bean to be the character because he just dies in everything that he's in. Maybe I see cameos. I also see maybe Robert Downey Jr. coming back to be Ironheart's AI.
Well, Ironheart's going to have to be something, because I don't think it's going to be Pepper. I really don't think it's going to be Pepper Potts.
It's going to be the daughter, I think.
Yeah.
And I believe this is from what Javier told me way back in the day, that like Tony is like his consciousness is an AI. That kind of like Jarvis was Tony's AI. Well, Tony somewhere hid his consciousness, or maybe Morgan creates
in
his
her
consciousness. Heart. Right, something like that. Who knows? Yeah.
All right. I guarantee you it's the I Love You 3000. Tony has a heart.
Maybe.
I think that Pepper,
it's in there. Like his consciousness is in there. The AI or something. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. And then you could bring him back, but he doesn't have to like do any stunts.
Just the voiceover
voices and not be in it as much as he normally is.
If that's the case, they're probably not going to pay Robert Downey Jr. to do it. They'll just pay whoever did the voice.
They could also just that
guy's
CGI
great at it.
Him.
They just like morph his voice into it.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to open up a lot. So what do we got?
So many things.
Yeah. What? So we got we're in October right now.
We have
so
Eternals in November,
and Spider-Man in December.
In November, Spider-Man in December.
What about She-Hulk? Isn't that 2021?
I think it's 2022.
Oh yeah.
Can we get an official review on that?
official review. Let's see.
I got it. 2022.
Okay. So we only got a little bit left. We got one more series and 2 more movies for 2021, right?
Yeah. But there's obviously always more things in the pipeline.
Yeah.
You know, as we keep progressing, they'll keep
we have 3 things within the next 2 months.
Yeah. Well, the great
and technically we had Venom.
Right.
Well, you guys did. Yeah. I didn't get in on
next.
that. The great thing though about Disney Plus is once there's no new Marvel series to play, they'll just do a Star Wars series.
Yes,
because we got Obi-Wan, we got Ahsoka, we got Mandalorian.
Yeah.
There's another.
Take care for that one, Shane. Me and Cap are Disney files.
Yeah, there's another. Oh man, I just saw the
Disney
lineup.
Just not Star Wars.
Yeah, to be honest with you, let's get some of the Disney princesses in their own series.
I got you.
I'd watch that. Like, you know what I mean?
They had them. Tiana's getting her own show, and Moana's getting their own show.
Okay, you guys could do and review those. I'll just sit back and produce.
But hey, I mean, if it's gonna make money, why not? You know, they're really. I said the great thing about Disney Plus is going to be the originals. I'm still waiting for Pixar to put out, because you know, like how they got the toolbar at the top. Yeah. So forget doing the shorts. Let's get a Pixar original series going. I can't imagine that they're going to be bad at it. You know, I've loved Pixar for the past 30 years.
Those are pretty good.
So
I feel like they have done some in the past.
They're shorts. They're shorts. I'm talking about original series content.
I could watch those all day.
That stupid spoon from Toy Story.
You know what's funny?
I love Forky.
Yeah, I like Forky. Yeah. You know what's funny? The wedding we were at the other day, Cap, there was some old chunky Italian guy there, and he had on
like the guy from Up.
No, he had on. Yeah, he did actually, but he had on the shirt from that movie, the Italian Disney movie, Luca, and it said on it "Silenzio Bruno." It was I thought that was so funny when I saw that.
That's great.
All right. Yeah.
Another one
in the books.
Yeah. Another one in the books. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Shane, thank you for sitting through this. We're happy to have you. You'll be back with us again. Check these 2 out for the Venom review that I got to miss, unfortunately.
Yep.
Doom Nation, thank you.
Later.
Bye.